Hi, and welcome to a demo of the Xerox IJP 900 inkjet press. For the next few minutes, we're going to take you over to the different components of the press. A few things before we get started. This works on standard power, no build-out, operates on household outlets up to 8 of their own, no more than 8. No HVAC or special infrastructure needed. It's compact yet scalable. It starts at just 9.5 feet and can grow to well over 30 feet, depending upon what you select. Environmental. It operates between 50 degrees and 90 degrees, or relative humidity, it goes from 15 to over 80% relative humidity. Now, you still have to have some consideration for paper. Can't be too dry, can't be too moist, has to be just right to actually move through any system today. Lastly, this operates with plain and inkjet treated paper. That means no NCR, no coated paper, and no specialty media. So let's start introducing the different components of the press. So first off, this configuration of the IJP 900 prints right to left, where other configurations are obviously left to right. So let's start introducing the different components of this configuration. First off, people might ask, what are the unique features of our configuration versus others out there? First off, our engineers worked with their engineers and we said, hey, what can we do to have the most up-to-date DFE with Fiery? This is the all-new FS600. Now, other unique features that are on this DFE are, we're going to include FreeFlow Vision Connect with Easy Vitals. In early January, FreeFlow Core will be co-resident on this solution. As we also look at this, it has built-in ink analysis. So if you're wondering how far will your ink go, well, you can rip a PDF file, you can see how much ink you utilize. As we move down, we're going to look at the vacuum feeders. Now, these are very unique, right? As your configuration grows, you can add up to 2 of these modules. Each of these modules holds 4,880 sheet. Now we normalize that with 80-pound GSM type of paper. Now we want seamless feeds on all of these, right? So we have 7 air knives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As I move this handle down, 6, 7 is on the opposite side. I can print from A6 paper, which is 4.1 inches by 5.8 inches, all the way up to 13 by 19. Now, these paper feeders can take 52 GSM all the way to 360 GSM. So you can have up to 2 of these feeders. Both drawers, again, hold 4,880 sheets. I can have up to 2 of these for nearly 10,000 sheets. Now, as we move on top of it, and you're not seeing it here, but we're going to bring a slide up on here. We have something called the multi-purpose tray. Multi-purpose tray sits on top of the vacuum feeder, so you need a vacuum feeder. It holds an additional 550 sheets. Now, I can only hold up to 216 GSM, but I can take letter size A4. I can also go all the way out to 27.5 inches if I want to do some 3-panel work, right? And I can stack 550 sheets, or I can go all the way on out to 48 inches. Now I have to hand feed individual sheets of 48 inches, but where would I use that? Well, if you're in a school system and you have something where you need to make, 5 or 10 posters of a dance tonight, book sale today, that's an example of the types of applications that you might utilize on the press. Now, let's move on down. Let's talk about the main unit that we have here, right? This is where the action takes place. Couple of fun facts, right? On the main unit, the printing heads for inkjet is the KJ4B heads. They're 8-bit, which means 256 levels of gray. This is 600 by 600 DPI. It has the option to go 6 by 12 DPI. We don't advise that because for the purpose-built applications that we're seeing on plain and inkjet treated paper, we really don't see that big difference with that higher DPI. In addition, if you're printing 600 by 1200 DPI, you're going to cut your speed down by roughly half. Now the speed is 150 images per minute, A4, or 146 letter size. If you want to do 2 up, 1117, you can get 172 pages per minute. But again, that's at 600 by 600 DPI. Now, we're going to move down, and I'm going to show you the features of the paper trays below, and I'm going to open a couple of the paper trays. Now, the bottom paper trays are for letter or A4. I can hold up to 1,500 sheets of paper in each. As we go up a little bit here to the 2 top paper trays, they can hold up to 500 sheets each, up to 12 by 18. Okay, so a lot of paper on board within the main unit. Now, as I move down here to my left, I'm going to open this door right here. And we have a couple things going on right here. We have the flushing fluid, right? This is going to flush the print heads approximately every 30 minutes for 30 seconds, or every 90 minutes for 90 seconds. Next to it here, and I'm going to open this up. This is our waste container right here, if you can see it. Both of these will last approximately 1 million impressions. Now I'm going to close this, and we're going to talk about above here. What you'll notice here is there's room for some more ink, right? This is ink supply. Now, these are 1.3 liter areas of ink. We don't currently offer this. Instead, between 250,000 and 1 million impressions a month, this is more of a higher end production machine. So this machine only comes with 3 liter ink tanks. Next, we have the 3 liter ink tank. You notice I'm lifting up the top hood. Once I do that, the press would come to a stop. So it is not load while print. We have 3 liter ink bags for CMYK. They're very easy to change out. I just move this to the front, lift up this metal piece right here, and it comes right out. These are the 3 liter ink bags. Earlier, I talked about the ink estimation. You can easily do an ink analysis on any of the PDF files and work your way backwards to understand how long these 3 liter ink bags will last. I'm going to put the hood back on, and as you can see, it's very easy to add a new, fresh 3 liter ink bag and come back into production in under a minute. As we move up, we have the status light, right? Let's just say for a second you have a crowded facility. There's multiple printers your operator is utilizing. From a distance, you want to see if your press is printing or not. So green obviously is everything is okay. Everything's fine, you're printing. Green and yellow means that one of your consumables is probably under 10% and you should change it soon. Red means that your press is stopped. One of your consumables is either exhausted, you need to replace it immediately, or you have a paper jam. We'll talk about that in a few minutes when we get to the inverter decurler. As we move to the right, we're going to open up this door right here, right? And you'll notice that there's an on-off switch here, so if you need to switch the press off. As we move up, you're going to notice that there's a reset switch here. And if you happen to hit this on the panel on the main unit, it's going to ask you, hey, do you really want to reboot the press? So it gives you time. It's not a switch that will cut you off. All right, what we're going to do next, we're going to talk about this module right here on top of the press. This is a scanner. You don't often see scanners on inkjet presses. It comes built in. It is not an option, but it has several different functions. It can scan to print. It can scan to file. It can scan to repository. And it does all of those features. I can start off by 5.5 by 8.5, all the way on up to 1117, up to 220 GSM. If you happen to have something that exceeds 220 GSM, you can simply open the door here and you can scan right on the plat. So it's very flexible. An example with this would be a school teacher. If a school teacher needs to print something, they don't happen to have the file, they just come over to the platen here, put it down, just like a standard copy machine, hit copy and the number of prints that you want. One of the questions we get asked all the time is, do you have automated missing jet detection? And the answer is no on this system. It needs to be initiated by the operator. But you simply come over to the control panel right here, hit nozzle check. It's going to print out 4 sheets, CMYK. You'll take those 4 printed sheets, you'll put it on the platen of the scanner, and the system will look for missing jets. It'll automatically correct it to the nearest neighbor. It takes about 10 minutes, but it's very easy to do through this system. So our next module is the inverter decurler unit. Its job is to dry the prints. So some unique things about this, plugs into a standard 110 outlet. But because it's plugged into a standard 110 outlet, the dryer doesn't increase its heat more than 90 degrees. It differs from all their inkjet solutions in that they can get up into the hundreds of degrees. Here, this system is purpose-built for transactional types of applications where we're not exceeding over 100% total ink in the press. The other thing here is if you happen to have a jam, because I mentioned that before, right, you can easily clear that jam. So just to give an example, if we should have a jam, you'll see this ominous red light right here, right? That'll indicate the press has stopped, right? And if you've checked your consumables and it's not your consumable, chances are it's a jam. You'll come over to the control panel right here, and the control panel will signal where there's a jam in your system. And here it's flashing in the inverter decurler. There'll also be a yellow dot. You'll move over to the inverter decurler, and you'll see one of these status lights lit up, and you can see them all over the place, and that'll give you an idea of where to go. Here, I just open up the paper path, clear the piece of paper, close it again. I'll close the inverter doors, inverter decurler doors, right? And the nice part about this is the press will pick up where it left off before. So if you were doing a variable data job and you were on record 323, it'll pick up at 323 and move down the system for uninterrupted operation. The next module in line is the 5,000 sheet stacker. As I open the door, you can see here, it was stacked up to 5,000 sheets. Again, we normalize that with 80 GSM paper. Up the top in the proof tray, I can hold an additional 250 sheets. Now, as I roll this out, here's a paper cart, and a paper cart comes with each of the stackers. Now, you might ask, is this compatible with, say, a CP Borg offline sheet feeder? And the answer is they sell a compatibility kit to make this compatible. Now, the next module in line is the finisher. Finisher has a bunch of different functions. First and foremost, you can stack up to 4,000 sheets right here. The other thing you can do on the finisher is you can do 2 and 3 hole punch or 2 and 4 hole punch. You can also staple. You can bottom, middle, top, and corner staple. And you can also make booklets. We find that clients that are doing a couple hundred booklets here and there, 20 sheets, 80 pages, this is a great solution to be able to do that. We also partner with Clockmatic. If you want to do more dedicated booklet types, you can do that. If you're doing maybe 10, 20, even up to 40,000 booklets a month, the Clockmatic booklet maker might be that purpose-built device that you're looking for. This is the Xerox IJP 900. This is inkjet without complexity. Come experience it for yourself.